talking about present day, it's like they had said, probably our generation.
Okay.
When I go to the school, the kids are very confident and they are different.
So let me ask anyone else before I move on. Yes, ma'am.
Because I tend to disagree with the concept of fear.
Okay.
Their fear is different than ours.
Okay.
Their fear is much deeper, and they hide it with the anger and the disgust and the sadness. They hide it,
Okay.
but it's there.
Okay. All right. Good conversation. Good conversation. I'm getting goosebumps. See, I used to be head football coach, and I'm getting excited, but I'm excited now to hear, this interaction right here, because this is what it's about. Because the more we learn, then the more we're going to go and model, like my man say, what we're going to do with children in classroom. Who was next? Did anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, the center ones, to me, sometimes they kind of override the stuff in the blue boxes.
Okay.
Like, when I have two kids who are in a fight and, their pride's hurt, so they won't be humble, they don't forgive each other, they won't step into each other's shoes because they can't pull themselves out of this feeling of being mad or sad or whatever.
Now, I want you to come back, because I want you to keep that thought, because we're going to talk about that when we talk about Ruby Payne and hidden clues with people that come from different communities and different cultures and those pieces like that. Keep that. That's a good one. Now, can we say this? Would you agree to this? That we got to do more teaching with our children to help them to understand life circumstances. Okay. All right. So we agree with that. So every kid. Now, let me say this now. I don't want you to leave today and say, well, he just taught doom and gloom. There's still some good kids out there.
Yes.
There's still some good kids out there, because I had them with me. But you can count them on their hands now. That's what I'm saying. And now what we're trying to do is bring that group that's not where the others are into that fold. Okay? So that's what I'm saying your job is. I know you're saying, well, I ain't sound. Yeah, when you stepped in that classroom, yes, that's what it's about. All right? Okay, let's move to the next one. So let's talk about some discipline dues. Okay? The very first one talks about hold them accountable. And that's what we must do. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what circumstances you're going to. You hold them accountable. And what I mean now is the way that you do that. Okay? You kind of involve them if you have in the process. And you're going to see those folks that came along with me. We didn't get involved in the process. It was, if I did something wrong, I got torn up. It didn't, hey, next time you do this, no. If you do it again, I got something else for you. But now, and I'm being serious with you, but now what we got to do is we got to tell kids why something's wrong. They might think it's okay to say some words that I couldn't say when I was coming up, because that might be in the environment that they're living in. You got to tell them that that's wrong. And here's the language that you use, and this you shouldn't use it at all, especially inside the school setting. You got to hold them accountable. And then you got to let them give you an answer. What can you do better? What would you do next time when this comes? See, it's come full circle. They didn't take, I don't think, now I can only talk about being in, I knew not to do it next time because I don't want no more of what I got. You know what I'm saying? So, we got to hold them accountable. And then, here's the other thing. You got to choose your battles. And let me say that right quick. Decide what things that you're going to struggle with. Not if the child breathes hard or something of that nature. Don't sweat the small stuff. Now, they got to be obedient, but then you got to decide, because if you don't, if you're moving everywhere every day, you're not going to have a good day. All right? And then, I know you're saying I'm only there temporary. Still take an interest in the child. Find out what they like. Find out. The more you find out about them, those kids are going to say, you know what? I think he or she cares about me. If she answers these questions. And then they can listen. Okay? It's kind of silent right now. So those are some dudes. All right? I want to keep you on task right here. let's talk about some don'ts. Because this is very important. All of it's important, but some don'ts. And Mr. Joe, I had to learn some things myself because, see, I'm brought up a certain way. And sometimes when kids step out of the line, I got to make sure that I don't embarrass them. If I want to see them, I ask them to come with me. I learned that the hard way. If you're around their friends and you go and try to discipline, that's when they're going to swell up like the Incredible Hulk. Because, see, I'm not going to get embarrassed. I'm going to call it saving face. We're going to talk about that a little bit too on down the road. Certain groups about saving face, you don't embarrass me, because the more you try, I'm going to dig my heels in. And then we got this battle going back and forth. All right? So don't back them into a corner. Try to say, hey, sir, ma'am, can you just come and see me for a minute? And if they say, well, what you want, don't. And then if they don't, you write them up or reach in your butt and call the administrator. But 9 times out of 10, let me say this. Our words and our tone can make a difference. I'm going to talk about that as we get ready to close out with this. Our words and tones can make a difference. Okay? Last word battles. You got the pen. You can write the referral. You make the decision on what's going to happen. Okay? Don't go back and forth. Don't go back and forth. You are the pen writer. Okay? Because some kids are going to come to school and when they see they got a sub, they, oh man, I'm going to do what I want today. See, that's a mentality. I'm just telling you, I just didn't start yesterday now. And that's where you write them and you let that person know and that administrator know. At the end of the day, if they were that terrible, I tell teachers, I'm going to see them because they represent me. They represent me, their teachers, our school, because I want folks to be able to come into the school and work. And I'm not telling you we were perfect, but I'm going to tell you Mr. Joe didn't play. 3 right quick. I was going to say those down the road. If they fight, they had to take a flight. If they could not obey, they would not stay. But if they tried Mr. Joe, they had the G on. Those are my 3 rules. Those are my 3 rules. And I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. If they could not obey, they would not stay. All right? Obedience is better than sacrifice, and then the adults are in charge until they prove me different. So those are the pieces right there. The last word battle, let it go. If they say something to you inappropriate, write it, buzz, get administrator. I'm in charge. Listen to what I say versus showing. See, if you say you're in charge, the very first thing, someone might say, I run my house. Huh? You don't have to say it. Your presence being there, okay, facilitating the room, they're going to say that you're in charge. Your tone, the things that you say are going to say that you're in charge. The way you go about your day-to-day operations are going to show them that. You don't have to say, well, I'm in charge. No, because some of them are in charge. Yeah. So that's very important. Okay, we talked about the discipline in front of the peers. And I had to learn that last one, man. I had to learn that one myself. Because if Mr. Ernest Joe Sr. and Miss Christine Joe was talking to one of us, we had to look them right in the face. Because we looked anywhere else, that was a sign of disrespect. But let me just say this. Then you'll find yourself maybe not in the same position. But let me say this. A lot of cultures is different. They might not look you in it, but they're respected. So I tell teachers to make sure that you understand and get to understand the kids. Okay? That's very important. That's very important. And once I picked that up, now I used to, I told teachers if a kid just causing just ruckus every day, I need to see him. And so when they come to my office, they gotta sit at my desk and I say, look at me. So I made that mistake. They did look at me for some reason. I don't know whether they scared me or what. I said, you gotta look at me. And you gotta listen, because the next step is out of the door if you made it this far. But every kid will not look at you, but they still can be respected. Okay? That's very important. Alright. Here's some things that we gotta learn how to do. Our job is to diffuse discipline. So here's some powerful things to reframe the discipline. Here's some things that you can say. All right? I understand. Give me your name again.
Bill.
Bill, I understand that that you probably had a tough morning this morning, but can you just work with me just a little bit? Kind of turn around and work with the group a little bit? And if it's something else, we can go out and talk. I understand what you're saying. You see what I'm trying to say? Now the wrong way, I'm gonna model the wrong way, but Bill, I'm tired of you now. Bill, I'm just tired of you now. I've been asking you all. See, that's going to get you so Bill. You see what I'm saying? The first way is the right way. You're going to see something about game changers. You're going to see tone and volume. And sometimes when you approach Bill, can you help me? And you're going to go, probably so, I understand that, but here's what we got to do. We got to get back on task because your teacher asked us to do that. Can you help me, please? Just this time, you know, hopefully you say it again. Just here, words matter. That's what that means. Words matter. Because at the end of the day, you want the mission and vision that they complete that instructional packet, what was left for them. Go ahead and talk to me, Bill.
Very quick.
Yes, sir.
I had 7th grader yesterday.
Okay.
One boy at a table with 4 girls.
Okay.
And he was being boy, irritating the girls.
Yes, sir.
We took a quick trip in the hallway.
Yes, sir.
But when we got in the hallway, it wasn't face to face.
Okay.
It was alongside.
Very good.
First question, are you in trouble? And he was nodding, and I'm shaking my head, no, you're not.
Okay.
Have you really done anything wrong? No.
Okay.
But is now the time to tease the girls? No.
Okay.
And they're gonna rat you out in a heartbeat, aren't they? And he was like, yeah. I said, and then I will have